Hi, welcome back, guys. This is episode 7 of the Horton Hangout podcast. I'm here, as always, with my co-host, Leanna Best. She's also Horton Consulting's lead trainer, and we're delighted to bring this episode to you today.
Hiya, let's get into it. Laura, let's hear what you've been up to.
Well, we've spent more time together, which is lovely.
We're having a lovely year.
We're having a fantastic time, aren't we? We're living our best lives. So we have been at the ADI, and it was the ADI team event in Brighton, and it was actually the bank holiday weekend, which I remember when I first saw the dates, I was like, oh, that's a bit odd. Actually, it worked really well.
Yeah.
And we have been there. We went on the Thursday, speaker dinner, Thursday night. We were lecturing on the Friday morning, treatment coordination, the good, the bad and the ugly, which I loved. We co-presented that session, which was really nice of them to invite us to co-present as well alongside each other. Just gives a different dynamic to the people that are attending. And it was a short, sharp session full of impact. I really enjoyed it. I love lecturing. I love standing up and lecturing. I think what's important to note for those who don't know, that doing a smaller, shorter lecture is so much harder than a 3-hour, 4-hour full day. You've got to be so concise. And co-presenting like we do on stage is such a skill, it's such an art, but we've always done it really naturally.
Yeah, so I really enjoy it. I prefer to do it in that dynamic than I do on my own.
Yeah, and I think if we go back to the dreaded pandemic, do you remember that full day we did in masks? What were we doing? That was the first day we co-presented. And if we can co-present in a pandemic in masks for a full day, we can smash anything else out of the park.
And I was pregnant.
And you were pregnant. What were you doing wearing a mask?
I know.
Like really, thinking back.
I know.
It's mental.
That's crazy
Everyone was
that
scared,
I did that. I
weren't
was
they?
so compliant. I'm such a compliant person.
We were so compliant, weren't we? And that was so hard back then because you couldn't get anything from anyone because you just got eyes and masks staring at you. But this was a really good event, and it was really enjoyable. We met lots of lovely people, new friends, old friends, a bit of networking and connection. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a fantastic event. And I think events like this are really good for the teams as well, and to be getting the teams too, because it's something different. It's so nice to get out of practice. Yes, we've got our CPD. We need to log on and complete. And hope it computes. Reflection. What have you learned from this? You can't put nothing new. You've got to make up something. But anyway, this was a fantastic event. So I really loved that. I really enjoyed it. And I think for me, one thing, I am, like you, asked to speak a lot at events. And I decline. And the reason I decline is because they are always at a weekend. And for me, time with my son is my priority. And I only would work a Friday or Saturday for around, maybe four times in 1 year. That's sort of my limit. I know you'll maybe go up to 6. You're a bit nicer than me. But 1, the location's got to work. 2, this worked because I still got home on the Saturday, went out for dinner with my husband and my son, had a lovely meal, and then we'd still got Sunday and Monday together, and that just worked really well for me.
Yeah. Because
I didn't feel that mum guilt. And I think there should be more opportunities for presentations, events, lectures to maybe be on, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, to mix it up a bit, to get more female speakers, because that's the one thing that I feel a lot of the companies don't appreciate. And a lot of people moan over the last few years, there's not any female speakers, it's all men, where are the women? Well, it's not that the women haven't been asked, but when you've got enough mum guilt already going on for the entire week, and your other half's doing more than 50% of the load in that week anyway, the thought of then being away from home in a hotel where you're not going to sleep and, delivering a lecture makes it difficult. This worked well for me. Did it work well for you?
Absolutely. I think it worked even more so because it was with you as well.
Yeah.
Having somebody there, having that person that, you can go to and have, we've got a good relationship. So when I've been to places on my own, it does feel more lonely. So if it is on a weekend, I don't want to feel lonely on a weekend.
No.
I want to feel like I'm having a good time. We made the most of it, didn't we?
Absolutely.
So that made a big difference.
Next stop, dentistry show.
Yeah. Now it's time for banned words. What have you got for me, Laura?
Okay, so this is a reception one.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to stop saying this sentence. But the reason that I recommend this sentence is not used and is therefore on the list of banned words is because when you use these words, you are not in control. The patient is in control. So when we're booking our patients' appointments, it is really important that the receptionist is in control. So the banned words are, when would you like to come in? Because the moment we say that, we've got patients dictating, oh, I'd like to come at 11, please, and I want to see the dentist and hygienist on the same day. And then in the middle of a massive block of white space, we've got this one patient dumped in for an examination. And of course it'll work in the hygienist diary, doesn't work in the dentist diary. So we need to stop saying, when would you like to come in? And instead start leading the conversation with, you're due to come back in 6 months' time, Leanna. And next time, it's not just the hygienist, it's also the dentist as well. Do you want to see them both on the same day? Yes or no? Okay, let me find some options for you. And then we find options and we deliver 2 appointments to the patient and let them choose those 2. So if they say, oh, neither of those work for me, you continue. You give them 2 options. Now, what's going to happen here is they always go back to the first options, don't they? So make sure you're writing them down so you don't get in a fluster. I like a little notepad next to me just to quickly write things down. And then you're in control. So if a patient says, oh yes, I'd really like the first appointments of the day, and your first appointment isn't till 9, well, it's 9 o'clock with the dentist then, and it's 9:30 with the hygienist. There is going to be a space in between both of those appointments, but that's great. We'll take the opportunity to rearrange your next appointments at that stage, put payment through, whatever it might be. And that's something else, by the way, that a lot of practices don't do. They book dentist and hygienist back to back. I like a gap in between. It works better with the diaries, and also it just takes a bit of pressure off either party as well. But back to this, it's not when would you like to come in. It is, in fact, here's 2 options for you, and you repeat. And we spoke on one of the other pods about silence. So let there be a silence while you're finding these options. But also, look, come on. You know, if a patient's coming out from seeing the hygienist, they're going to be coming back. So just be aware of, which day of the week it is, what time it is, what you've got in 6 months' time, 3 months' time. Be aware of that. Not like, oh, I'm looking at the diary like it's a surprise and it's the first time I've ever seen it. You've usually looked at it. You may have already looked at it 10 times today. You may have pressed the plus 6 months or plus 3 months button already 10 times in that day. So be very much aware of what your opportunities are for those patients that are rebooking. I also, I know it's such a big culture in practices, dentist and hygienist on the same day. Oh, makes me ill. It ruins dentist diaries. It really, really does. So anyway, I won't go off on a tangent about that now because this pod will be an hour long. But it's something else that, we help practices with, don't we? Because, it's a ruiner of the diaries. So that's a banned sentence for today rather than a banned word.
Brilliant. Let's look at a Horton Hangout question now. So I have a question for you. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Good stuff. I am a TCO and I work with 2 dentists, one of whom will not take the time out to treatment plan with me. This is impacting my follow-up schedule and communication with patients who call asking questions. What is your advice?
So it's a difficult situation this person's in. So first of all, I would speak to your practice manager and just explain the situation and how it's impacting patient care and the overall patient experience, and explain that you feel a meeting to discuss all of this would be a really good idea and you'd like their involvement. If they are not the practice owner, I'd perhaps also speak to the practice owner as well and say, look, this is an issue. These are the solutions that I have. And I'd like us to have a meeting together to discuss these ideas that I have. And I think that's important. Always go with solutions. You want to be heard. You have the meeting, make sure that it is at a time that, is going to happen. So don't book it for 1 o'clock, because that dentist may run late and they're just going to want to eat at 1 o'clock. They're going to be hungry. So maybe select 1:30. This doesn't need to be a massive, long, drawn out conversation. Then you've got the fantastic habit from Stephen Covey, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, which is seek first to understand and then be understood. And that is the way I'd brace this conversation. So we've got an issue whereby patients are coming in to see you. They're having their new patient assessment. And respectfully, you need to take time out of your diary to treatment plan, and that's great. Now, because I'm not doing that with you like I am with Carol, we now have a situation where patients are chasing and calling up and becoming frustrated, and it's making the patient experience a little bit difficult. It's making my life difficult, and it's really not giving a good impression to that patient. So can I get an understanding of why you don't want to have the treatment planning meeting with me each week or twice a week, so that I can really understand why you don't want to do it? So you listen, you understand, and then you put your reasoning across. So you've, seek to understand and then be understood. And then say, so how do you suggest we make this work? Put the ball back over to them, because it's not working. Patients aren't getting their treatment plans. Part of your role is to help dentists with treatment planning, getting everything together. Of course, you're not treatment planning. You're a TCO, you're not a dentist, but it's supporting them. And I think for a lot of dentists, actually, having a pile of treatment plans to put together is really negative, and it can really impact them. It doesn't make them feel great, and they don't want to stay late and do it, and they don't want to come in early, and they actually want to have a lunch break. So what impact is this also having on them? That's perhaps another question I would ask. How does it make you feel when you know you've got 10 patients to treatment plan? Does it worry you? Does it stress you out? Is this procrastination that we're dealing with here now? Are you just burying your head in the sand? Because I want to help you. My role is here to help you, and we can't go on like this. It's not good for the patients, and the patient always comes first. The patient is the priority. So that's how I'd address that situation. And then I would also be feeding back to that dentist all the positives that are coming from this and asking for their positive feedback as well. So just to let you know, just this week alone, this is the results. This is what the patients have said. I think this is working really well. How do you feel? Is there anything we can still improve to make it better for you? I would be doing it that way. But what I'm demonstrating here is the TCO is very much leading this. They're not going to the practice manager, the dentist won't treatment plan with me, can you sort it out? They're leading it. And that's what you've got to do in this role. You've got to lead. It's really, really important.
I think it's just really the dentist understanding what value that can bring, not only to the patients, but for them, like you've said, how much it can help them out, rather than taking it all on. And I think naturally as a TCO, you can see it as a negative thing and feel quite emotional about it and taking it personal. However, it's not. It's the fact that they think, I'll just leave it there and I'll do it when I get home and make it easier for everybody. And they're not trying to be defiant or not helpful. They're actually trying to make it better for everybody by doing it all out of hours, because, they don't want to block time out of the diary, because they are helpful people, caring people, and want to help the patients. Mm-hmm. They're not necessarily seeing the benefit of that. Yeah. Because they think, if I have white space and I'm blocking it out, that's not efficient for the diary and money and all of the rest of it. But actually, once you do track these figures, then it shows how much of a benefit doing it is.
Yeah, and that's that feedback that you're giving back to that dentist as well. Look, you've seen 20 new patients, your conversion rate's now 95%, and, I've got one person in follow-up from this month. Fantastic. That's great. Look at your diary. Look how booked up your diary is. There are all these positives to come out of it. So keep communicating all of those benefits across to keep that person engaged in this system, because it's so hard to slip back into old habits as well. So you've got to keep that engagement and that motivation. And then there'll come a point where they'll be like, I am not treatment planning without you.
Yeah. And that reassurance of diary zoning.
Yeah.
That's why we do it.
Yeah.
So we can allow for this space to be had.
Yeah, exactly. We need to really get an understanding of what's going on, what your conversion's like to diary zone effectively as well.
Yeah.
Everything interlinks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's such a big picture thing, really.
It really is.
Yeah. Hopefully that helps that person. This isn't an ad. We don't have any ads on this podcast at the moment, but we were very kindly sent the deluxe kit from Tooth Angel. It's a really cool new brand that's out there, and it was really nice of them to send this full kit to us. So we've got the toothbrush, the floss, the toothpaste, and the breath spray. So obviously toothpaste, I went for that first. What about you?
Yeah, toothpaste was quite mild. Toothbrush is really soft. I'm used to an electric toothbrush, but from a manual point of view, it was nice and soft. It's got a nice little plastic cap over it, which is really handy for travelling.
Wow, this is it, because I don't know about you, but I leave my Sonicare at home because I'm a nice wife.
Yeah.
And I think all the time, why do I leave that at home?
Yeah.
But anyway, I'll very quickly tell you why, actually, because once my electric toothbrush turned itself on in the suitcase. Yeah, so it's vibrating away.
Oh no.
And it was in an airport as well, so it was quite a panicky moment. Yeah, like, because I hadn't even, it was like going through and be like, there's something vibrating in the bag.
Oh no.
Like, and I was like, oh, it's my toothbrush.
It's me.
It's me, and it's my toothbrush. So ever since then, I've taken a manual. And you're absolutely right. I love a soft toothbrush anyway, but yeah, the cap on it, fantastic, because on my other branded toothbrush, which I will say is a Curaprox, don't have that.
Ah.
So that I thought was also a really good bonus for me. I love flossing. Thought the floss was very nice. Thought that was very nice indeed. So yeah, it's really nice. I also like the boxes and the kit. I think the branding's lovely.
Branding's lovely. The breath spray's nice because I expected more of a hit, but it was quite mild.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing is, with a spray, they're nice, particularly for us if we're lecturing, presenting for the day, working with the team for the day,
4
to
coffees down.
Have a quick, quick spray. Yeah. So I don't drink coffee, but you do. So did you find it helped with coffee breath?
Yeah.
I
it just
can't,
freshens up my mouth. I don't want to breathe my coffee breath over it. That's vile.
It is vile. Can I just say, as a non-coffee drinker, people with coffee breath.
Teacher breath.
It's the same as people with cigarette breath, in my opinion.
No, it's not.
I don't like it. Don't you think it is?
It's not the same. It's bad.
It's bad.
It is bad. And it makes me talk like this a little bit.
Does it? You're holding
it in. And that's really unfortunate.
Yeah. But
really
I thought this was a really good kit. So thank you, Shamik, for sending this to us. Really appreciate it. And go check out Tooth Angel if you haven't already. I first saw it on Instagram, actually, with the wings. So yeah, thank you so much for sending it. Go and check out the brand if you haven't already. It's designed by dentists. It is a sustainable and planet-friendly. And also there's 2 flavours. We went for ice, didn't we? There's also the fire flavour, but we both went for ice.
Oh.
Fire was the cinnamon one.
Ice definitely for more for me.
Yeah. It is time for confessions of, and this week Leanna is going to deliver the confession.
Confessions of a dental nurse. This is a really good one. Let me set the scene. Routine extraction, nothing fancy. Patient's doing great. Dentist is mid-pull. I'm holding the suction like the unsung hero I am. Then it happens. A sudden pop followed by a spray. And not just any spray, a projectile splash of mystery tooth juice, in brackets technical term, which lands smack on my visor cheek and the ceiling light. We all freeze. The dentist goes, "Did I get you?" I'm standing there dripping like I've done a scene from a horror movie saying, Only emotionally. The patient, unaware of the carnage behind the mask, just smiles and said, "That wasn't too bad." Meanwhile, I'm trying to maintain composure while mentally Googling, can tooth fluid cause trauma? Oh, brilliant.
That is brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing that. And that was really well written as well. I love the unsung hero that I am. That was just brilliant. Thank you for hanging out with us. Press follow to make sure you get an immediate notification. We look forward to hearing from you. You can watch us on YouTube and, of course, listen on all the usual places that you enjoy your pods.